hello there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. You're scurrying around in the locker room here at the gym, and I wasn't sure what you were up to. Are you okay? Yes, I understand a lot of humans don't really talk to you. There's no need to be scared. There's no need to be frightened. So you're a rat here at the gym. Some might say you're a gym rat. Is that correct? Absolutely. And I see that you're struggling a little bit. Do you need help? I do work here at the gym, so I could definitely help you out. Yeah, no one's offered it to you yet? Oh my god, that's insane, Sometimes, I don't really love working here at this gym. I do think that they don't particularly treat the people very well, both the people who work here as well as the people that do come in. But since you're here, and I imagine you didn't come in through the conventional means, I'll just go ahead and offer you sort of like a personal training session, sort of get your information and make sure that you are up to date, and I can give you some like rat specific sort of guidance to help better yourself and whatever it is that you want to do, since you are here at the gym. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Okay, well, you are lucky that you got me. I have always loved being with rats. They're very, you guys are very sweet. You don't live very long. So, I do end up feeling a little bit sad because of whenever I befriend a rat, you do end up dying within a few years, and then it becomes sort of this whole thing after I have to have a funeral, and it's not very fun. So, excuse me if I offend you, but I am glad that you, at the very least, are here and willing to sort of have this conversation with me. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So, I do have a few basic information that I need to get down. This is just so that I can get you not into our system, but just that I have more information about you. What kind of rat are you? I know you're a gym rat, but are you sort of like are you more of a like go all out, like come 7 days a week kind of gym rat? Are you a like come once a week sort of just keep up sort of gym rat? Do you live at the gym? Are you in the water? Like, it's just that kind of information, you're right? So let's go ahead and get started. So what is your name? Okay. And is that last name? Okay, just rat, R-A-T. Okay, so I will go ahead and make a note of that. It is not racist. It's not racist against rat kind because your last name is Rat. So if I call you, Rat, then I'm just calling you by your last name. So, what is your address? Okay, here and there. Okay. I imagine there's a few places you end up going to. Yeah. Oh, you have a winter home and a summer home? Oh, that's lovely. How did you afford that? It's free if you're a rat? Wonderful. Okay. Was the paperwork hard? No. Okay, good. Okay, and how old are you? Okay. Pretty young, I would say. Do you suffer at all? And this is just something, this is not here in the questionnaire or anything, but this is just something I like to ask potential clients. Do you see yourself having sort of body dysmorphia or something like that? It's just something to keep in mind for me, because I don't want to exacerbate that. I don't want to make you feel bad for being here or cause you to have some sort of complex, right? We want you to have a healthy relationship with the idea of coming here, right? So if you're pretty young, so I'm a little worried, like, how are your parents? Are your parents pretty intense about like how you look, or do you have like a partner of some kind who's like really pushing you to come here? And oh no, this is all from within. You really want to be here. Okay, great. That is wonderful, because that is the most important thing. I don't think that sort of coming here against your will or because you feel bad in the sort of like cosmetic sense is particularly healthy, but whatever floats your boat. So do you have any special issues? So of course I'm going to write down here, rat. That's important because, a lot of our machines don't really accommodate your size. It is something that I think we need to get better at. We have a lot of machines here, a lot of very similar machines, and I think that getting some special accommodations for the other kinds of people, other kinds of beings, I think would be very helpful, having sort of like a hamster wheel for hamsters, or a nice little kitty treadmill, and a rat dumbbell rack. I think that would be amazing, right? So but in lieu of that, I do think that it would be pretty helpful for you to at least have a little bit of guidance as to what you can and cannot use and what would be safe for you to use. That is the most important thing, because we don't want you to injure yourself, okay? Okay. So, next, I do want to ask if you have any family members. This is a question I am mandated to ask because we are going to send all of your family members that you list here sort of incessant spam emails letting them know that they have to come here and that they're terrible if they don't come to the gym. So, it's just something that I have to ask. If you don't want to mention anybody, okay, you're mentioning, okay, yeah, you don't really like them very much. I can tell that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, don't worry. We'll send a lot of emails their way. Absolutely. And is that at Gmail? Okay. Do you have little computers? Is that... Wow, they make iPhones for rats? That's interesting. Okay. Okay, well, that's all the basics that I need. Okay. So, in terms of your goals, we're just going to move on to that. Let's talk about your goals. Okay, so you're here at the gym. Is this your first day? It didn't look like you were particularly, you weren't used to being here. Yeah, okay, so I think it would be very worth it to go over the different reasons that someone might come here. Okay, so what's important is that you figure out the reason that you're here for, so that you can just come back to that reason, have that in the forefront of your mind, and you're not worried about sort of superficial things, right? Like if you're getting on your sort of like your rat scale and it's not what you want it to be or whatever, you just have to think about this thing, right? And obviously we don't recommend you necessarily getting on a rat scale very often or anything like that. It's really just for the betterment of your own mental health, right, as well as your physical health. So the first one of the ones that people usually come here for is for weight loss. I think that is something that it varies from person to person. You don't have to come here for weight loss, and you don't have to lose any kind of weight. If anything, it's just sort of an option that people tend to do if they want to, and it can be a very slippery slope into sort of the sort of body dysmorphia that we were talking about before, and it tends to it can't replace a therapist, so that's something to keep in mind. That is an option. I would say the second option is a better one, health. And this is sort of like a very generic term. We use it here at the gym very often. We don't really know what we're talking about when we mention the term health. However, we do know that it is healthy. So just be healthy, right? And coming to the gym is healthy. So if that is an option, right? So you could say that's your goal. You want to just improve your general health. So you come to the gym, and whatever you do at the gym is just to better your general health. And so so long as you feel better and you feel good, then that's all that matters. There's also movement. So if you feel like you are slightly movement impaired, not in the sort of permanent sense, but more in the inflexible sense, coming to the gym can be very, very helpful for you if you really need to, just make some adjustments to really help stretch those muscles and stretch your body, and gain some of that like mobility back. Another one is, of course, muscle building. This is the other side of the coin here, where if you don't want to, if say, for example, you feel really weak, if you feel like you want to be stronger. You want to not necessarily defend yourself. You're a rat after all, but I do think that if you find yourself struggling with certain things that you haven't been able to, maybe you're experiencing some muscle atrophy, you've been staying in all the time, you haven't been doing very much, it could really be detrimental to your muscles, right? And so this could be a way for you to just maintain some form of muscle density, just so that you're able to, do your daily tasks and whatnot. So I think that's pretty important. Of course, the next one is aura maxing. So this is a very, I would say it's definitely one of the ones that people come and do all the time, aura maxing. If you really want to maximize your aura, just coming into the gym, sort of flexing what you look like. So this is for people that already sort of have a naturally fit physique. In rat terms, I think. Think of like the most beautiful rat they've ever seen, and they come to the gym for the first time ever, right? And they're lifting, or they're working out, and they're not necessarily great at it or anything, but they're just, they're trying to maximize the amount of aura that they are exuding. And to go along with that, you can also have as a goal just jealousy farming. So if you want people to be jealous of you, you could also come to the gym very often, because I do think that there is sort of a culture around sort of, oh, you go to the gym and then you can flaunt that, right? And then people end up being jealous or think you're really annoying. But, it's in the eye of the beholder. So you as a rat, so you can tell all your rat friends that you go to the gym, and then your rat friends will stop being friends with you because they don't really like the fact that you go to the gym all the time. So because your personality's changed, and suddenly you're talking about macros, and you're talking about all these different things, and you used to be fun, and now you're being really not. So okay, so do any of these sound interesting to you as options for your goal? Okay. And you can have more than one, and you can change them over time. It's just something to keep in mind, something to really have in the forefront of your mind as you're coming in here, okay? Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. All right. Well, feel free to ask me. I mean, you are in charge. I'm just here to help you, right? So please do not feel anxious about being here or anxious about talking to me. And even if after today, if you see me around here at the gym and you're sort of doing your thing and you're a little confused, you can just come and ask me. It doesn't matter. I'm always happy to help. Okay. Okay, so for nutrition, let's talk about that for a second. What do you eat? And we're going to talk about breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is just to establish a baseline as to what is normal for you, right? So I guess I'll ask, because you are a rat. Do you have breakfast, lunch, dinner? Do you have like 2 breakfasts, like a couple lunches and a few dinners? Or what's the situation here? Okay, you don't have a meal, you snack. Okay, you snack. Okay, the one thing I worry about that is that maybe you're not getting enough nutrients, right? Food is important. But let's see. What do you snack on? Cheese. Cheese is very good. Very good. High in fat, high in, high in protein, high in whatever you need it to be. But, it's a very good. Okay, so cheese, and what else? Okay, so there are some like Doritos that you sort of open up and snack on in one of the houses okay. All right, that's good. What flavor? Okay. All right, and what else do you snack on? Okay, sparkling water. Okay, interesting. Is that a snack? Okay. Okay, well, what I see here is, I'm not going to get into the sort of nitty-gritty of how things work, but for a rat, for someone like you, what I would suggest is just seeing the variety of what you're having. If what you're having is just one thing or 2 things, and if it's all the same color, then perhaps it's just really monotonous, right? You really need to trick your brain into thinking that you're having a lot more variety than what you're actually having. So just a few things that you could do that would be helpful. If you take that cheese, split it up 6 ways, and just a little bit of food coloring in each one. One's green, one's pink, one's blue. Then your brain is going to think that you're having way more and different things than you actually are. And it's virtually the same, right? So I can go ahead and do that. I'll make a note here. And then for the Doritos, I don't like that flavor. It has... It's completely frivolous as a flavor, to be honest. So if you can, try and scare the owners of the house to getting a different Dorito flavor. My suggestion, because you're already into cheese, just nacho cheese is, perfectly good and, works perfect. Okay, so, okay, so the last thing that we're going to do here for you is I just wanted to do I want to gauge like where you're at, okay? So I'm going to have a few workouts for you to do. I'm going to check your form and make sure that you are, you're good with it so that you can get started. And not just that, but I also want to write down where you're at. What kinds of levels are you able to hit, right? So for the first thing, I'm going to need you to do some bicep curls and some tricep extensions, okay? So bicep curls is when you take your arm and you hold something and you just bring it up like this. And then tricep extensions, you're going to have to lie flat, or not necessarily lie flat, actually. You're going to have to sit up, and then you're going to have your arms extended up, and you'll bring it down and up like that. So let's go ahead. I do have over here, I think, yeah, I have this pin here. This will act, I think this will be a good weight for you, right? Just to test it out, right? So here you go. Very, very good. So how about you go ahead, just one arm and then the other, okay? Okay, so so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can switch hands. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, very good, very good. Those bicep curls are pretty good. What I would suggest is to try to extend your hand all the way out. Your arm, not your hand. Just extend your arm all the way out and then bring it back in, okay? So here, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna come in a little bit closer and help with your form, right? So if you just extend your arm here like that, yeah, see how that feels, right? And then you can you bring it up and then you bring it down. Yep, exactly. So try that again, 5 on one and 5 on the other. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wonderful. You are doing great. Okay, so let's try those tricep extensions here. Okay, so grab it, put it, yep, Okay, so bring it down and then up, okay? So 1, then up, 2, then up, 3, and then up, 4, yep, and then up, 5. Very good. You didn't need any pointers on that, and honestly, that was really impressive. I have not trained a rat before, but I have had other people really struggle with that. I think you have done wonderfully with that. Okay, so next, based on the goals that you said, squats I think would be very helpful, and I want to see how your legs fare. So a lot of the times, with people who don't come to the gym very often, their legs tend to be not very strong. So I just want to make sure that you are okay here. Okay, so just go ahead and give me some squats. Okay, no. Okay, stand still for a second. What I need you to do here is get your legs and make sure that they are shoulder width apart. Okay, so like here and there. Yep. And then what you're going to do is when you're bringing down, try to stick your butt out. Yep. Yeah, stick your butt out. Yeah. It's okay. Your tail can be in my face. That's totally fine. And then down and then up. Yeah, it was a little hard. Absolutely. Just do a couple, as many as you can, but don't feel like you really have to push yourself. Okay. And okay. Then one more. Oh, yeah. Okay. Great. Oh, you did. That was wonderful. Okay, okay. So I'm just going to write that down here. Okay, next I'm going to need you to do some oblique twists. Have you heard of that before? You haven't. Okay, so oblique twists are basically you're on your butt and you're lifting your legs up, but your back is not on the ground. So you're basically balancing on your butt. Your legs are up, and then you are twisting from one side to the other. Okay, and what this is going to do is going to really get those, get the sides, right? And, you know, you are a very cute little looking rat. So I think that you'll look really funny doing it, but you don't have to be self-conscious about it. It's adorable. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so let me adjust here. I'm going to grab your little legs, bring them up a bit more. There you go. There you go. Now your arms, just keep them in front of you, like on your chest, like that. Absolutely. So then you just, yep. And then just, yep. Okay, that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. Wow. Okay, that's 6. 7. Oh my God, that's wonderful. Okay. That's wonderful. Those are all the things I wanted to do. I wrote down some notes here. So those are some pretty good workouts to just overall. It's mainly abs and arms, and, you know, abs, arms, and legs. You know, if you end up sort of finding me again later or needing me or wanting, you know, a bit more personal training, I do offer those services and I can help you sort of expand on that. But I think that, you know, I think that you're actually in a pretty good spot. So if you just want to, you know, get better at the things here, I think that'll be very helpful. And, you know, we have a lot of machines here. Maybe if you do hire me, I will end up getting like, maybe I'll end up hiring someone to craft some unique machines just for you. Okay. Okay then. Well, I am happy to assist you. If you have any questions for me or anything, please feel free to ask. And I hope you have a splendid day. Okay then. Bye-bye.